Hi everyone, it's week 8, so we are charged with posting our project for the last 8 weeks, and my project has been on the topic of environmental health. So if I take a look at my week 1, I've given these students a brief overview regarding environmental health and how important it is on our health. On our own health as humans. So basically what I've said is that our health is affected by the quality of our environment, including the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, and the communities in which we live. I brought into this introduction or this overview kind of a summary of what our this week 1 in environmental health would be about the topic. So we will touch on even bringing into the overview a little bit of the resources already through the World Health Organization and Healthy People. This just gives the students like I said, a brief overview of what's to come, what they should expect throughout the week, the topics that will be touched upon. And again, here are some of the resources that they will be looking at. This next part of my week 1 is just ready to be put into Canvas in terms of, you've got an image that needs to be put in for the opening page of week 1 and the alternative text that goes along with it. We try to make sure that everything has an alternative and that everything has a description either by sight or by words. Here are the competencies and the learning outcomes and the competencies, not only for the week, but for one of the competencies from the overall course, which then identifies with this particular week. So this particular week, the competency is to identify environmental health and how the community quality of life and safety is affected by the environment. And as you can see, these are the student learning outcomes. It's just basically a description, an outline, an explanation, and to compose some awareness of the community's environment. Here is the overall to-do list for the students so that, again, this will be put right into Canvas so that they will know ahead of time exactly what it is that they're being asked to do. They're being asked to read 5 different sources, one of which is a textbook that I used for this particular course in general, along with, again, the ability to have an alternative to reading, and that would be watching. An outline of the graded assignments, and then the full into the content of what they will be looking at for the week. They have, again, 7 pieces of content, 5 of which are to be read, and then the last 2 are to be watched through the videos that have been that will be embedded right into Canvas. From there, we go into the assignments or the assessments. Excuse me. The first assessment is the discussion question, and the discussion question has to touch on the first 2 of the learning objectives for the week that I had determined what the first 2 learning objectives were. And so the discussion forum touches on those learning objectives or those learning outcomes. And so for the discussion this week, I'm asking the students to outline the purpose of environmental health and the impact on the community, and then to describe the community interaction with the environment, how it affects the health and wellness of the community. The rubrics, I put this rubric in here for just for the sake of everybody seeing it. It's a very standard discussion rubric that we use, but normally it wouldn't appear here. And as we go further down into this you'll see into this week's outline, you will see that when I talk about the rubric or the grading template, it'll simply say in folder. And that is, we have standard grading rubrics that we use, and they just come right out of the folder, and they're kind of interjected into Canvas by way of the course designer. So their second assessment is an insight paper, and this insight paper, again, will have the instructions, the learning outcomes that hopefully will be met, and an explanation of what I would like them to, the topics on which I would like them to hit in this paper. I've got a couple of more assessments for this particular exercise only. I don't normally put any tests into this particular course on environmental health. I normally just have them do various assessments and a discussion, but for our assignment, I did a simulation exercise, and the simulation exercise is that they are to take a look at the community of Longbrook and then address each one of the topics that I have asked them to address in the virtual community of Longbrook. And then the last and final assessment is a quiz that I've given them. And again, they're just open-ended questions. It's just a quiz to kind of gauge where they are with their knowledge of this particular topic. And so that would be my overview and my week 1 document. I then, again, for the purpose of this assignment, put together an environmental health blog for the students to take part in. It's a pretty standard blog. This particular blog, I have named it my blog, and it's all about the acid rain program. So just starts off like any other blog would start off, with just some information, some quick points about various things, along with various topics, along with then the opportunity for whomever is involved in the blog. In this case, it would be the students to go to these pages, these web pages. It starts out obviously with exactly, the opening page, right? The topic page. It goes into a little bit about me, because that's what I've done in the past with blogs. I simply have a little recording that tells, hi, it's me. It's, this is what I am. This is what I do. And then the actual blog itself, which we just went over, which is on acid rain, which has various topics, terminologies, places for people to go to do additional research, and then the opportunity for them to add to the blog. So that is my project this week, actually for the entire time, I guess. Again, it was on environmental health. Why I can't get it back to my page, I don't know. Thank you all. It really has been wonderful to be in class with all of you guys, and I look forward to our discussions this week. Thanks so much.